Hello, welcome everyone to another episode of Plastic Hype. I'm your host John. It's my pleasure to be hyping with you on the new Age of Sigmar stuff and of course the tabletop scene. Only games of miniatures though. This week we've got a couple of exceptions and we'll talk about why. But in general, this channel or this series about hyping new products or new projects, there's lots of plastic miniatures. So without further ado, thanks for joining me and let's dive into what's new this week. Now we can look into the background of the cover that I've got there. We'll go from left to right. All right, let's see how we go. All right, so let's go with the first one. The Seraphon Vanguard box. So about a week ago, Games Workshop have announced that they're going to finally push out a Vanguard box for Seraphon. Now, this is exciting in many fronts because first up, it's pretty much all models that someone would use. Now, one could argue these middle creatures, the Croxagors, are not as good as they should be. I personally think they're great. For 160 points, they can really do a lot of damage and coalesce. Probably not as interesting for Starborn players, but you can still summon them. But then at that point range, you probably would save the points to summon something else, like Saurus Warriors, which is the guys. The front, they look meaty, very good models. I have all of these models already. I can vouch for that. They look awesome. They play well. So this is a box where every single piece are good. And of course, besides the Carnosaur at the back, all the models are new. So we've got 14 miniatures in this box. 13 of them are new. That's exciting. It's really cool to see more of these new units on the table. I've just gotten the Seraphon lately, so that's super hype. Now, interestingly, we don't have the ability to pre-order them yet. Why, Games Workshop? Why? Well, what we have is we have the hype. Oh, excuse me. My cough is mostly gone, but it's still lingering. So apologies, and thanks for staying with me. So I think this new box is very interesting. What is most interesting this week for me, though, is that we can't pre-order it yet. Now, if you check the Games Workshop pre-order shop, at least here in Australia, the only thing that we can pre-order is the warband that I have a little piece on later. Yeah, so you can only pre-order a new warband for Underworld, and that's it for Age of Sigmar. Of course, you can pre-order other stuff to do with 30k, but hey, that's not Age of Sigmar. Not so exciting. So I'm looking forward to see the price point in this. We'll probably cover that in another episode. But I mean, these units look really good. And I've recently put some of these on the table. Love it. All right. Next one. And arguably, I think this is the most interesting thing that I'm looking forward to watching. So let's cue this up and watch it together. Yeah. Let's get ready to join that endless march, eh? So, for the people who hasn't been following Age of Sigmar lately, especially to do with the new range of the City of Sigmar, this is very exciting. This is a new Dawnbringer stuff that they've been drip feeding us for the last few weeks, arguably, probably months. We all know Age of Cities of Sigmars are coming. It's still kind of coming out. So what do I mean by that? Some people online have got a copy of this already and have been leaking some of the War Scrolls and the Battle Tome online. Now, of course, we didn't get a copy, and this series is not about talking about leaks anyway. So until it's out, I'm just hyped about it, and I wonder what it's going to look like. Now, let's go and enjoy some of these miniatures together because this is plastic hype. Look at this guy. So this is... I'm going to try this. I just shocked myself how complicated this name is. Pontifex Sinistra, the matriarch of the Great Wheel. I don't know what she does, but she looks pretty cool. This is cool to me because how they design this miniature is very much how I think about the humans look like in the Cities of Sigmar or in the Age of Sigmar world. They don't have a lot of fancy clothes. They work hard. A lot of these guys, to me, more look like a zealot. And yeah, good for them. And they're two of these guys carrying a huge chair. I guess this is made out of wood. Poor guys. Well, they must be very strong because that looks very heavy. I think it'll need that seat would need 8 of me to lift it. But anyway. I think that looks very cool. Very much in the lore. Lots of flavor. Like it. Yeah, I guess this is showing it's got different builds. Nice. Yep. And who is this guy? He is... Yep, okay. Still in the same miniature. Redolent with Azurite energy. Okay. Alright, I think this is... Oh, okay. This is back of the chair. How about that? Okay. So ladies the front... Skeleton in the back. All right, very cool. Very cool. All right, next piece. The Ironweld Great Cannon. When people talk about a cannon, I get excited. Who doesn't like tanks? Eh? And for me, I really like the whole cannon feel. So what's interesting about this one is I don't know the base size because I haven't peeked at the at the leaked tome, so I don't know what the base size is. But looking at this is going to be pretty interesting to run a few of these. I mean, for me personally, I have other factions. I'm thinking about the ballista from Stormcast Eternals. Suddenly the word escaped my mind. I'm thinking about the ballista from Stormcast Eternal. I'm thinking about the ballista from the elves, the higher elves in Heesh, the Luminous Realm Lords. Okay, they look alright. Now, this looks really cool. I think as far as all the artillery pieces I've got, the only thing that comes close to looking as cool is the Crew Boys kill bow. Now, that kill bow isn't that great as a War Scroll, so I wonder how this one would look. But this looks really cool. I can just imagine the sound of cannon fire going off when you roll dice for this one. All right, so I like that. Now they have taunt that they've released a massive review of everything on the line. I guess that's new. So I think we looked at this unit last week, and this is new. I think this is the Field Sergeant. Very cool. I don't know what he does. Of course, we haven't looked at the War Scrolls yet. I don't know what he does neither, but he looks cool. It's funny that they have a skeleton here, and some other factions can't even get a skeleton piece. He looks like a knight captain, an assassin-looking dude. Actually, he does have a name I came across earlier in the week, but I know he's an assassin for sure. I mean, you look at him. He's got a masked face, mysterious black cloak, everything assassin. I like it. All right, so that's very cool. And then, we looked at the Cavaliers in the previous week, but this is the martial version, so I guess the hero version. Looks very nice. A lot of details. I mean, if you look at some of the decorations on the bag, wow, a lot of trims, and I like it. Now, I don't know how big this model is going to be. I'm guessing it might be close to a Fuminator size, perhaps, or maybe smaller, because it does have a lot of things sitting on that base. Otherwise, I would predict it's a smaller base. Well, it looks very nice. I'm guessing the cloak from the other end, if you look at it on the opposite angle, that would look quite nice as well. So let's see what the... Okay, all right, here's a picture of that. Oh, look at that shield. That is hours of trims. For those of you who paint, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah? Wow. I like it. That looks very nice. I think some people who enjoy painting can really spend a good amount of time doing the trims and just sitting in there marveling your great job because of the details. You know, it looks so nice already. And I guess it's also hard to mess up in this case. All of them looks like it's got different texture, so it's much easier for the painting. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay, and this is just a big version of the army. So they're fighting the Oziak Bone Reapers. They look like Mortek guards at the front. Very nice. And that's the Manticore we looked at a few weeks ago. Wow, that's huge. Oh, okay. So here you go. The cannon size is quite big. All right. These look like, what, 32 millimeters? They look like 32 millimeters. And so that is way bigger. 70, 75? Yep. Size on Andraste, maybe. Anyway, a bit of speculation, but we'll find out what the size is for the base soon. And then we've got the Fusiliers we looked at last week. Oh, they look nice. They also look like 32 milliliters. They look like 32 millimeters. So that's cool. I don't think they look like 25, but, you know, stand to be corrected. And if you know, type in comment. I'd like to see that. And then, of course, the new Battle Tome is coming. It's going to be very interesting because Cities of Sigmar have so many units in there, so many different factions all gelled into one. This is probably going to be one of those very thick, meaty books like Stormcast Eternals with 1 million war scrolls. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how they rework some of the older models and also how they balance the new ones. And how other factions are going to gel in the 3rd edition of Age of Sigmar. I mean, look at this for sub-factions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's at least 11 sub-factions. What do they do? Well, for the die-hard fans of Cities of Sigmar, you've probably looked at the leaks that's been online already. I'm personally waiting for the good stuff that's going to come out, and we can do a session on that. But all very cool. All right, I look forward to ordering this, but actually, I look forward to the pre-orders of this. I don't know when I'm going to order it. Maybe in 2025, because I've got so much backlog going on. But anyway, it's not about me, not about my backlog. City of Sigmar looks very cool. All right, let's have a look at what have we got next. All right, so this is the, strangely enough, this is the only pre-order that's available today that I found. All right, so maybe I couldn't find everything that I need to find, but I couldn't pre-order the Seraphon Vanguard. It's only the new knight in Horus Heresy, the Cerastus Knight Lancer. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but either way, that's what it looked like. I'm not a fan. I'm just gonna say it out there. I'm not a fan. Why? Why, GW? Why did you do this? All right. Probably going to get some flack. I'm sure there's some people who like the look of this. I'm not one of those people. So let's move on. This is the Warband. I think we covered that a few episodes ago on the new Underworld Warbands. They look cool. Now we can pre-order them separately. That's outside of the starter kit or the... I think it was the starter box in the new Underworlds. So you can get them for, I think, 65 Australian dollars. Oh, there we go. Yep. 65 Australian dollars. Yep. So you get Warband and you get the cards. Price has gone up a bit. Yeah, they look cool. Am I going to get it? Not for me. I don't play Skaven. I don't ever see myself playing Skaven. I think Skaven's very cool. but they just have too many units. I don't move that fast, and I can foresee myself always running out of time. So yeah, look, they look cool though. I like these new units. Okay, moving on to other new stuff that has nothing to do with Games Workshop, and that is Call of Duty. So I looked around online for this week's show. Surprisingly, I didn't find many cool projects with miniatures. Okay, so that's the context. Because this is press to hype, it has to have miniatures. Otherwise, I'm not hyping it so much, except for the exception that I'll talk about in the next slide. Eat my own words. Okay, now this is interesting because not because I used to like Call of Duty. I used to play Call of Duty a bit in my previous life. So that part is cool. But what is different about this game is this is less about random dice rolling and just moving things around, because they happen a few, right? So if we review what's been going around in the marketplace recently, we've had Apex Legends, that was not long ago, and then before that we had Rainbow Six, which was even, to me, a bigger IP. A lot of drama went into that for the company who's failing to deliver it and charging backers more money to get what they originally pledged for, like myself. Oh man, I thought so I think I backed a core deal and one box. I thought, oh yeah, excuse me. Oh yeah, that would be enough to get me started. The price was reasonable. I could handle the base price and the shipping. And then suddenly the price almost doubled. I think they were asking for over $100 for me to get what I originally pledged. So I have to pledge extra in order for me to get what I ordered, or what I not ordered. It's not a shop. What I pledged for before. I thought it was a bit of a kick in the nuts. I didn't appreciate that. I got option to give them more money or back away from project. And at that point, I choose to back away from project. But anyway, the point of talking about those is not to complain about that project. Yeah, I accept some of them have failed, but I think this one plays quite differently. And let's talk about why, okay? It's different to the other games. And if we look down here, all right? First up, let's talk about the map. In general, this game is a 1 versus 1 duel. So what that means is it's going to be way faster than the other games, the two what I just mentioned. So Apex Legend is multiple and multiples. Same as Rainbow Six Siege, multiple and multiples. This is 1-on-1. So it's going to be way faster, less pieces to move. But is it worse because you only move one piece? Well, here... Oh, what did the camera just do? Okay. Anyway, so... here's what happens. First, you get a character. Yeah, of course you have to buy them. But anyway, you get a character and you get equipment. So you get a gun, of course, and the gun have stats. And then you can get other equipment like grenades and other things, tech pieces. And then you get to plan your movement in secret. Yeah, okay, so if we have look back in this picture, you see how there's a bigger board in the middle and then smaller boards to the side? They essentially give you a smaller copy of the board so you can play mind games with yourself and your opponent to do your plan. Yeah, I think that's a cool bit. So you can now then do your plan in your little board and guessing where your opponent's going to go, and then you're going to counter them and hoping you make the right counter. So this game is very much about movement. Of course, there's lots of tech in it as well. You get special actions, you get equipment, but the main thing that drew my interest is it's very much about movement. Now, if we go down a little bit further, you see here they've got a small board, and so that's how you would plan your movement and how you would plan the other person's movement. And it gives you tools for that. So you don't have to kind of simulate it in your head. It actually is designed to be played that way. And I think that's cool. And then you both move the same time. So simultaneously move because you've planned your movement in your previous step and you just execute them in one go. Now, where there's line of sight, you just shoot each other. Very much like first-person shooter games. If you're in the crosshair of someone else, somebody's going to drop. And this game is kind of like that as well. So I like it a lot. You're really planning about where you're going, where you think your opponent's going. You try to outplay them pretty much in the movement phase. And in the old days, I used to play first-person shooter quite a bit too. My favorite was Unreal Tournament, way back, probably 25 years ago now. It's all about movement. You think where your opponent's going to go, and you cut them off, and you also, as you shoot, try to predict where they're going to go and shoot at that direction. This gives me that flavor. Now, when this game's talking about movement, it's not just placement, but also directional as well. So because you get 4th movement each, depending on how you think the other player is going to move, you would try to predict where you need to face. So what happens if you're facing the wrong way? Well, you get disadvantage, as you would expect, right? You're in a gunfight and your shoulder is pointing towards their gun, and the gun is pointing towards your face. Disadvantage, and they kind of simulate that here as well. So I think it's very nice. It's not too complicated because it's one-on-one, so you can really focus on one piece and get good at it. And the whole idea is high adrenaline. You're thinking about, I was going to say PK, but you're thinking about a duel type of situation where maybe you're in paintball, or you're in a situation where you're on one-on-one. You've got a weapon, they've got a weapon. You got to try to outflank them. This game simulates that very well. And I think it's great, but surprisingly, this game hasn't got all that much backing yet. I mean, currently sitting at 200 Australian thousand, which is not a lot. So, but it still have time. Worth checking out. That's what I'm saying. All right. So I'm quite hyped about this one. Next. What is next? This is a interesting mention because I went into Gen Con to try to find some new stuff that I can get hyped about, and surprisingly, I couldn't find too much. So, I mean, the only one that I was interested in terms of miniatures was Kingdom Death Monsters. Yeah, KDM. Yeah, that's it. My friend's into it, and I have been following Kingdom Death for a while. They released a new big monster, but I don't know. That didn't really gel for me. So anyway, I'm going to focus on what interested me, which is this Guilty Gear game. All right, Guilty Gear, for those of you who don't know, it's a fighting game. It's got decades of history now. It's very well animated, and the fact that it still survives today tells you that yes, it has been a good game. It's not for everybody, but it does have a fan base. Now, what they are very good at is they have great cutscenes in a fight for a fighting game. So it's not just you choose someone in round 1 and fight. They animate the whole thing when people talk, and the characters themselves are very well animated. Anyway, I like that. I appreciate the good art they put in there, and the pacing is also a little bit slower than to me anyway than Street Fighter. And I think it's cool. But anyway, why is this cool? First thing is, right now, this is live, right? So this is live on the website on Level 99 Games. What you can do right now is, because of Gen Con, you could go to, just search for Guilty Gear board game, or you can go to Level 99 Games, and you can click there to get a demo deck for free. For free, guys. Not gonna lie, I'm jealous. I'm not in the States, because if you're in the United States, you can order this for free and have it delivered to you. For us who lives in Australia, this is free, but the shipping is about $20. Not bad, right? Still not bad. So for anyone who wants to try this out, I would say do go for it. Now, this is an exception because this doesn't have miniatures. Well, at least at the moment, it doesn't have miniatures. But if you can see some of the back, okay, it doesn't really show on this page, but some of the components are plastic. So, you know, that's a segue into plastic hype. Anyway, if this is interesting to you, yeah, go and check out the website. Get a deck for free. Yeah, freebies. Why not, eh? Okay, next up. this is going to be a controversial for some people. All right. So what we're looking at here is the Divinity Original Sin, the board game. Now, I'm not going to lie. I've backed this game years ago. Now, I say years ago is probably even before I backed any other games. It was one of the first games that I found on Kickstarter. The early days of my Kickstarter journey. Why? Why did I back it? Why was I excited about it? Because Larian Studios, who made the Divinity game, also make Baldur's Gate 3. Of course, Baldur's Gate 3 just came out within days, and it's amazing. And the previous titles, Divinity, Original Sin, and Divinity 2, are all blockbuster games. So my impression of the RPG game that they put out is best of the best. Cream of the crop. It's so good. I haven't really met anyone that has played a game and didn't like it. That's how good it is. Pretty much everyone I spoke to. In fact, I was talking about it with my friend the other day, John. We were talking about Larian Studio. We were talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and he played the original Divinity, and we were just riffing off each other's excitement and hype about how good it was, right? And that was years ago. Now, of course, Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and on the loading screen, they point you to this game that you can pre-order. Now, why did I bring this up now? And what's the background behind this? Why hasn't people been talking about it, at least in a positive way? Is this game originally on Kickstarter, it was a few years ago. We're talking about pre-COVID. We're talking about like a year before pre-COVID, based on my memory. It was supposed to be delivered years ago, and it still hasn't been delivered today, right? So that's the first fact that we need to get past. Although this project should have been delivered years ago, it still hasn't been delivered today. So if you go on Board Game Geeks right now, I think it's got a rating of 5.9. And that is just sour people complaining. And I understand that, right? I mean, I would as well if I didn't play the computer games. And I am a little bit more lenient in terms of the development time in my head. It's okay if they're late as long as they deliver, right? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is they have pretty much redesigned every part of the game that was advertised on the Kickstarter. The board is different. Now, this board is like a book. And I like it a lot because it follows the trend of some of my favorite adventure games. Recently, I'm thinking about ISS Vanguard from Awakened Realms. They used this colorful and well-managed book for navigation, telling a story. I love the system, and this is kind of on par with that. Of course, it's completely different, right? I'm not saying any of them copy each other, but I really like this new design as opposed to the old design that used to be an octagonal board where you have cards all facing the middle. It's really weird, but it was innovative. Yeah, it was new, creative. Now, because they've completely redesigned most of the aspects of the project, some people would say, well, what I've backed is nothing like what you guys are developing right now. Yeah, press that buzzer. Now, for me, though, I think that is a very positive change because I would rather get a better product, have a better gaming experience for the money that I paid, if you develop a better outcome, right? I don't really mind if you change the some of the design decisions. I'm cool with that, as long as you deliver a good product. And based on the updates that I've been following, because this is one of my favorite gaming studios nowadays of all times, Larian Studios, I have faith in them. And you could say it's a bit biased, but I have faith in them. I think they're going to deliver a good product. So, naysayers, be gone, right? Now, why am I hyped about this? Sorry, I've taken so long to get into it. It's a bit of an emotional topic. Why am I excited to talk about this right now is this game, based on the latest timeline, is going to be released within the next few months, all right? The update actually said a bit earlier, but I think it's going to be the next few months. Why is that? Is because they've finally got their big project out of the way, which is Baldur's Gate 3. That's been released. That's being sold now, so that's got off its plate. I don't think the team who's building Baldur's Gate is going to be working on this project, right? Because there's one's board game, one's computer games. But what that translates to me is Larian as a company which have more resources to focus on this game and get it done. So that's the first part. And then the second part is, by now, because it's years in development, years of extra development, I think they've finally matured the game to the state that it can be released. Now, I am very keen to see what Larian Studio do, because I don't know if you have seen Baldur's Gate 3 or play Baldur's Gate 3 on the computer or any other systems for that matter. It looks amazing, innovative, everything is beautiful, well crafted. I think that's what a video game should be. Now, I dare say, so far of my experience in Baldur's Gate 3 is setting a new bar for computer games. I'm going to let that sink in for a moment. Now, if they're the people, the same brains that is going to set a new bar for computer games world, I wonder how they're going to do in the board game world. Not everything is going to transfer. I understand that. But the passion, the quality control, the design, the story writing, the scripting, all of that, I hope they'll bring over to the board game. So, this is now up for pre-order. What that means is you can probably get more bang for your buck. If you order now, I'm not affiliated in any way, so I'm going to say that now. Yeah, I know I've been saying great things about the studio. I'm not affiliated with them anyway. I don't get anything from them. They didn't tell me to do this at all. I think it's cool. I think I don't want people to miss out. So do check this game out, Divinity, the original Sin, the board game. I hope it's going to come out soon. And yeah, order now. Yep. Get more free stuff rather than later. I have faith in them. All right, so that's enough for Divinity. You should get it, or you should play Baldur's Gate 3. All right, so this photo is what I've been doing. So what have I been up to lately? I took my Seraphon for a spin. I was playing my friend Bruce, and I got completely annihilated. Ugh. Memories making me cough. Okay, that's an excuse. So what happened here, quickly talk through this. The game pretty much ended in 2 rounds because my army is so wizard heavy. I had over 1,000 points on the wizards. I had Lord Croc. I had Slan, Starmaster. I have Starseer. Also had the Star Priest on Troglodon at the front. I haven't painted him yet, so he looks more like a Carnosaur. And then I've got the Astrolite Banner, one Raptidon Charger. They did great. And then I've got my Saurus Warriors. And you've noticed I haven't based anything because I haven't decided how I want to base them, but that's not the point. Raptidon Chargers, really good fun. Saurus Warriors, tanky. I like them, but they got annihilated by Neferata. And then, yeah, my Wizards miscast. I should have 10 spells, and I only casted average of 4 to 5 a turn. And yeah, so the game was lost. But anyway, that was good fun. Last but not least, what else have I been doing? That's not to do with Age of Sigmar. Well, I was playing this game with my son. Now, I think this is going to be what I consider to be a sleeper hit, because I think this game is actually really good. Now, for those of you who don't know this is a game called Too Many Bones by, this is Too Many Bones Unbreakable. Unbreakable is actually the title of this game. Doesn't mean the game is unbreakable, although it is close to unbreakable. So this is Too Many Bones Unbreakable by Chip Theory Games. As you can see here, something you may not be able to tell by the photos, there's no paper here. There's no paper. What does that mean? All right. The character board is a mat, a neoprene mat, like a mouse mat. All right. All the cards are synthetic, so you can pour water on it. It will survive. Every other component is pretty much either a clay chip, or like chips you use for poker, or dice. And that's all. There's no cards. There's no hundreds of plastic trackers. It's just dice. Everything's dice. And it moves really quick. It's a really good game. So for those of you who don't know it, I've just dug this out to show you. So this is Too Many Bones Unbreakable. It did really well in the project. Well, look at this. This is 5 million Australian dollars for a game. Yep. How it plays? Well, you draw a card. You read out the card. So that's like the story, the scenario, and then you roll dice. You just roll a lot of dice, and there are lots of skills. I don't know why I'm flicking through this with my mouse because I'm just so impressed with all the stuff here. But let's go back up. My apologies. Got too excited. So, okay, they didn't actually have too much. Okay, here we go. Yep. So every character comes in a play mat, and how you upgrade your character, like leveling up, essentially is you can give them stats or you can give them skills. Very simple. Give them stats is generally better, but it's not a game changer. But some skills could be game changing depending on your play style and your situation. And there's no right or wrong. You just do what you like. You got so much freedom, but it's also quite interactive and very fun. So I've been playing this with Levi, which is my son. He's 7 years old. We're enjoying this a lot. He's having fun. I'm surprised he grasped this game so quickly. And I guess when that happens, to me, that's always a testament to good game design. It's fun, a lot of depth, but not too complex for us to pick up. And so, yeah, this is Too Many Bones. Unbreakable, if you like this type of game, like a dungeon crawler, high quality dungeon crawler that doesn't take hours or days, this is highly recommended. All right, and that's all we've got for you today in this show. Now, if you like it, do check it out, our other videos, and yeah, tell your friends, comment in and have a chat with us while we do the live stream. Well, we always run on. Excuse me, my apologies. I'm sure I'm going to lose some retention when I start coughing randomly like this. So this show runs every Sunday at 9:30 p.m. AEST, so Australian Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, do join us. I look forward to seeing you next time. And I have been sick for a long time, so I've been a bit slow tuning out the video. So I still am working on the previous battle report. I want to finish that, and then we got a couple of reviews that we've recorded, but it's on the backlog for editing, and I hope to be able to show them to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and let's hype more exciting projects and roll sixes.